So getting back to our goal here of being able to use a clock to do our profiling. We have a game clock, but I definitely do not want to use that to do our profiling. So let me just kind of show you where I'm going with this. I want to be able to say clock dot start. Oh wait, initialize. Or we need to initialize every clock, and that's important. I don't think we had that initialize actually. Oh, it does return a boolean. Okay, I should check that boolean, but you know, if the clock fails to initialize, then whatever. Clock dot initialize, and then clock dot start, and then down over here I want to say clock dot stop, and then profiler dot add entry clock dot last lap time. If you can think of using a stopwatch, you can do laps and say what was the time of the last lap. And then when we're done, I want to say clock dot shutdown. That returns a boolean as well, which I should check and log if there's an error and that sort of thing. But anyway, that's kind of where I'm going with this. But last time I checked, we have an initialize, we have a shutdown, but the red squigglies here are kind of helping us out. We don't have a start or a stop or a last lap time. If I look at the clock class here, we have an initialize, a shutdown, we have a new frame, and then we have a time elapsed to last frame. That's kind of our last lap time. But you see, when we built, and this is literally how I code. Back when we wrote this clock class, I could have thought ahead and said, well, maybe it should be this general purpose stopwatch. And yeah, maybe, but maybe not. All right. If you think like that, you're going to be planning for an infinite number of possibilities in the future, and most of those possibilities will never come to fruition. So that's actually a waste of time. I built the clock for what I needed it for back when we did those videos, but now I'm going to refactor. I now have a need. I know that need exists. I'm going to refactor my clock so that I can do exactly what I'm trying to do here with the start, stop, and that sort of thing. So again, this is a nice place. I'm glad I have Subversion. I'm checked in. I know if I screw something up, I can revert. And I also have the unit tests to back me up. And of course, if we change this interface here, then I'm going to have to tweak the tests as well. But that's okay. I have that freedom now. We did all that heavy lifting and all that hard work. I have that freedom. I can have a heyday. I want to add a start and stop and a last lap time. I want to make this is the kind of interface I'm shooting for. So initialize shutdown new frame. Instead of saying new frame, I want to say lap. All right, and just to keep track of what I'm doing here, new frame I'm going to change to lap. I want to be able to say start and stop. All right, so I'll do that right here. Void start, void stop. These are new, obviously, and then lap. Time elapsed last frame. I'm going to call that time elapsed last. Let's call it last lap time. Okay, does that make sense? So I'm kind of redefining the interface here, and I want to grab this and just put this out to the side like so, just so I can remember what it was, and hopefully I remember to delete these useless comments after we are done with the refactor. And let's go to the compilation unit. First of all, we need to Control Z that. We need to define these, okay, which we shall do right here to be textually consistent with the placement of the functions in the header files. We'll go here and say, I'll just paste them in. How about that? Backspace, like so. Alt drag clock, colon, escape, end key, curly, curly, enter, whoops, enter, end key, curly, curly. Okay, so we have a start, we have a stop. We changed new frame to lap. So I'm going to call this lap, but then we'll say new frame out here. Again, for the same reasons I'm saying it in here. Last lap time, Control C, last lap time, and like so. So I'm really kind of going to town here on this clock class, which is actually a pretty basic class. That's kind of why I don't feel so bad. I got Subversion backing me up. It's a basic clock class. Whatever. Now let's go look at our tests. Engine tester. Where's our clock test? Right here. So notice I'm kind of, I wanted to think about my tests and how I need to rework these if necessary to satisfy our new definition, but at the same time we already have the unit tests that should verify our logic. So it's I'm kind of in between roads here. I should make tests that verify, oh, you got a start and a stop now, and make sure those work and are working properly, and that sort of thing. But I actually want to make sure our unit tests pass first before I go modifying them at all. Okay, I know they passed. I've ran them 100 times in 100 videos. So what should we do? Pick one. Well, I'll tell you which one I'm going to pick. I'm just going to see if we can get the unit test to pass first, and maybe if I feel it's necessary, we'll test start and stop separately. But I'm thinking this class is simple enough that it might not be something to stress about. Now let's look at this lap. Remember, it used to be called new frame. So it looks like we find the current time, we figure out the delta from the last time that we took. I believe we take the last time. Yeah, we did in the initialize. So as soon as you initialize, I take that last time. I remember defining that contract that way. I don't know if that was a good decision or not. Yeah, I'll stick with it. And then we figure out the delta, and then we store that right there. So it looks like this is kind of doing a start kind of thing. When we start, we want to, hey, what's the current CPU counter at? Right. So this is looking a little bit like start, and then this is looking a little bit like stop. Do you see where I'm going with this? So I'm actually going to take some liberties and put this in my start function. I'm going to take this and put it in my stop function. And then lap is pretty simple. I just want to say yeah, stop. All right, figure out our time that last lap, and start again. All right, and then what's kind of cool is the way we've done this, you can call start, 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 start. You can keep calling start all you want to, and it just basically says, oh, okay, I'll just start again. Oh, I'll just start again. So it resets and starts. I actually kind of like that behavior we have here. And obviously moving the code around kind of threw some things off. So stop. Looks like we need, yeah. The problem is with this time we declared it, well, I pulled this code up here and then I'm using it down here. So stop. Well, whenever we stop, we need to save away that time we took. So let's go, I'm going to split this new vertical tab group like that. Hide the Solution Explorer. And we actually need to, we're not dealing with frames anymore, we're dealing with laps. Right? You notice it kind of went to this lap terminology there. And I think that's going to cause me to refactor this a little bit. I'm going to say last start time. And this variable, when you say start, we're just going to say, hey, all right, we're just going to save away the last start time. And same thing here, like so. And then, you know, this is kind of, it's kind of interesting how this initialize works, because we're testing to see if this function is allowable on our current platform. And then here it's kind of like I'm checking it again. I'm saying, hey, is this function good? Yeah. All right, is this function good? Let's return the result of that. So it's kind of like I'm calling start. At the same time, I'm just making sure that function's okay. But if this function's okay, this one should be okay. I'm kind of mixed here. I wonder if I should just say return true. Yeah. Sorry, I can't give you any definite decisions here. This is the architect in me saying, oh, it could be good this way, it could be good another way. Whatever. Okay, grab the last start time, and then down here in the stop function, we don't want to say last time, last frame. I want to say the last start time, like so. And then this time, well, we need to get the current time. So we're going to have to bring that code back in I had before with the this time. So let's put that up there, and I'm going to say this time like so, large integer this time. So we get this time again, like, and if you have to review the clock videos, feel free to find the delta, and then the time last frame, and I called it delta last frame. I'm going to say delta last, let's at least say lap. Let's be consistent with our wording here. Delta last lap is that, and then last lap time needs to return, oh, we're doing the float thing here. Oh, we're doing the float thing, delta time. Yeah, that's right, which we did right here. Maybe we're okay now. Control Shift B, let's see what happens. Build, wait for it, error, ship position. Oh yeah, so obviously where we're consuming it, we just redefined the API. The unit tests aren't going to build, neither is the actual game. So let's do this last lap time, Control Shift F12, jump to the next error. Well, I'm going to Control H this, and last lap time, replace all. That was useful. One occurrence fixed, whatever. Control Shift F12. Here's the unit test complaining. So I'm going to say lap here, Control U, and oh, that's interesting. And maybe I need to go review my own videos. But why am I calling this and not doing anything with it? Why? Here's all the tests. Yeah, this looks useless what I'm doing. Maybe I was just checking to make sure it would build. I don't know. Get rid of it. Control Shift B. What did we fail to fix? New frame. We want to say lap now. Control Shift B. Build succeeded. Now, if you remember these clock tests, we did this overnight test thing, and this takes a while. It actually takes, I think, about 10 minutes. I'm going to just very quickly pound define overnight tests here so that the preprocessor will allow this stuff back in. Oh wow, look at all the build errors. Yeah, okay, let's Control H this stuff. So click there, Control H, tab, last lap time, replace all, there we go. And then new frame, Control H, that's lap now. That's lowercase lap. Replace all. And are we good? Control Shift B. Build started, build succeeded. Okay, I'm going to run these tests, but I'm going to pause the recording so I don't bore you. But then you and I can inspect the results at the end. And my gut's kind of telling me I kind of hack and slashed a lot over here, that I probably made these tests fail. But maybe we'll get lucky. I know that when we wrote these tests, we spent a lot of time thinking about them and working them, and I felt confident that they will find an error. So let's see if they find an error. Control F5, and I'll be back in like half a second for you, 10 minutes for me. Well, it took a while, and I went and got a drink, but all the tests passed. That's impressive. That's impressive. And then, if we go here, though, oh yeah, all this compiles as well. So, this is not how I'm going to use this, though. I mean, it is, but it isn't. I'm going to show you a little better trick for this, because I don't want to have to say clock, clock.initialize, clock.start, all this stuff, just to do a profile. I'm going to show you a more compact and hopefully better, maybe better way of doing this in the next video.